$25,000. After taxes, it's $1,847 a month. Rent is $950. Utilities, phone, insurance. You have $312 left. That number lives in your chest every single day. $312. Your co-workers order lunch together. You say you already ate. You didn't. $14. Your phone screen cracks in October. You buy a case to cover it. You tape the edge on the inside. You tell nobody. You set the alarm for 5:30. Not because you need to be there by 6, because you need to eat before you go. You apply to a job you're underqualified for. They don't respond. You apply again. And again. $28,000. You write thank you in the email. You mean every word. The savings account has $400 in it. You check it twice a week. Not to watch it grow, just to make sure it's still there. $40,000. End of month. The number didn't go below 0. You count that. Something shifted. Not in your life, in your math. The good yogurt. She doesn't put it back. You open a Roth IRA. $100 a month. The interface asks about your goals. You type, to not be afraid. The car still makes the sound, but you have $600 saved. The knowing is enough. $40,000 is the first level where money stops being the only thing you think about. It becomes the second thing. You didn't notice it happen. You just noticed it had. Your direct deposit hits on Friday. For the first time in 3 years, you don't open the app immediately. You know the number. You let it sit. $65,000. $65,000 is $4,330 a month. You move to a one-bedroom. You have a kitchen table. You sit at it in the morning. For the first time in your life, a morning feels like yours. $724. You book a flight without waiting for a sale. The ticket is $220. You pause before clicking. But you click. A former manager calls about a contract position. She offers $75 an hour. You say you need to think about it. You've never said that before. You've always said yes immediately. You go to dinner with 2 friends. The bill comes. Nobody stares at it. 3 cards. No calculations. No calculations. That's the milestone. $65,000 is not success. It's the absence of fear. And absence of fear is so rare, it feels like winning. $90,000. You walk into the restaurant you used to walk past. You sit down. You order what you actually want. Not what's cheapest. What you actually want. The morning's changed first. You wake up and money isn't the first thought. That's new. You take a week off without calculating whether you can afford to. Not a vacation to prove something, just a week. Nobody has to know. Your mother calls and asks how things are going. She says you sound different. You just sound like someone who isn't scared. A recruiter reaches out. $105,000. You tell her you're happy where you are. For a second, you don't know if you're performing or telling the truth. $90,000 is where the noise stops. Not the problems, just the constant low frequency of financial fear you didn't know was playing until it stopped. $130,000. 6 figures. You thought crossing it would feel like arriving somewhere. It doesn't. It feels like walking through a door into a room full of more doors. Your manager asks if you can stay late for a deck. You say, I'll send it by 9 a.m. tomorrow. He pauses. You don't fill the silence. He says fine. Taxes take $38,000. In San Francisco, it's middle class. In your hometown, It's unimaginable. You stop telling people what you make. Not humility, protection. Everyone has an opinion at $130,000. The jump from $25,000 to $40,000 changed your survival. This one changed your options. Not satisfaction, a question. 6 figures is a door. What's behind it isn't an answer. It's a question harder than the work that got you here. $200,000. The apartment is nice. Not show-off nice, just nice. A kitchen you actually cook in. A bedroom that gets morning light. A neighborhood where you sleep through the night. A close friend asks to borrow $800. The amount is nothing to you. It's everything to her. You say yes before she finishes asking. You measure life differently now. Not in paychecks, in optionality. Can you leave this job without panic? The answer is almost. Not quite, but almost. You are at a dinner. Someone asks what you do. The conversation shifts. You didn't arrange this. Money changes rooms before you even enter them. You hire an accountant for the first time. She asks about your tax structure. You nod in ways that look confident. You didn't know you had a tax structure. $200,000 is where money stops being the conversation and starts being the silence between conversations nobody has to have anymore. $350,000. Different world, different problems, different language. Tax optimization, not tax refunds. Asset allocation, not savings accounts. Your accountant costs more than your first car. The people around you earn similar numbers, not by design, by gravity. Dinners where nobody checks the bill. A headhunter calls from a company you've admired for 10 years. The package is $420,000. You ask for the weekend to think about it. You actually use it. $420,000. You fly business class on a personal trip. Not to show off. You did the math. 6 hours versus 6 hours. You ordered water on the plane. Old habit, old habit. The distance from $25,000 is permanent now. You remember the cracked phone screen, the yogurt you put back. It's yours. But you don't live there anymore. $350,000 is where the altitude changes. And altitude, once gained, makes it hard to explain the view to someone still climbing. $700,000. Money becomes invisible. Not because it disappeared, because it stopped being visible in the way something is visible when it might not be there tomorrow. Decisions aren't about cost anymore. They're about time. What earns while you sleep? What costs you hours? What gives them back? What earns while you sleep? A colleague mentions she negotiated her salary to $95,000. She's proud, rightfully. You congratulate her. You mean it. You call your mother on a Tuesday afternoon. Not for anything specific, just because you can. Tuesday afternoon is yours to give. $700,000 doesn't buy happiness. It buys distance. From struggle. From urgency. From the version of yourself who ate lunch at her desk and said she wasn't hungry. She said she wasn't hungry. $1 million. You walk into a room and realize you are the most senior person there by a decade. No announcement. You just became the person the table references. $1 million a year. Nobody at this level says it out loud. The number lives in wire transfers and tax documents and attorneys who bill in 6-minute increments. 6-minute increments. You walk into rooms where decisions are made, not because of fame, because your judgment and your capital are useful. That's a different kind of invitation. You sit in a meeting with 7 people, all earning variations of this number. The coffee is the same, the table is the same, the difference is invisible. You think about the $312 you had left after rent, the cracked phone screen, the job offer email where you wrote "thank you" and meant every single word. Every single word. Money stops measuring your worth. It starts measuring your reach. And reach changes everything it touches, including you. Somewhere, right now, someone is making $25,000 a year. She's running the total in her head at the grocery store. She's saying she already ate. She doesn't know yet. The number isn't the destination. The number is just the map. The number was never the destination. It was just the map. You still have the email saved, the $28,000 offer, not as proof of distance, as proof that you never lost who wrote it. You don't follow the market every day anymore. You built it so a bad week doesn't change your week. Someone asks your opinion before deciding, not out of courtesy. Because when you shift your position, capital follows. You just stayed long enough for it to become true.